Good morning, everyone. It is CPI Day, Thursday, August the 10th. It's around 6:45 in the morning here, and I am on financialjuice.com. Financialjuice.com, you get to set your settings for the more important news that you want. Takes you roughly about a minute. And most importantly, you have over here Tick Strike and the delayed launch voice news. The launch voice news is pretty good, especially if you really, really want to do this. Tick strike, very significant because you can literally listen to the market. You don't have to be sitting there watching your screen and thinking about pushing buttons. Today is CPI day, as you can see over here on the left column. CPI comes out after jobless claims around the same time, a couple of seconds delayed from one another. And your CPI, core CPI, blah, blah, blah. And then later in the afternoon at 3 o'clock, we have Fed's Bostic. After the markets close, Harker. Tomorrow, you have UK GDP and we have US PPI. And then we get the preliminary University of Michigan sentiment tomorrow. This is how you prepare yourself for the day ahead. Yesterday, looking at the stats alone, as you can see here, your lows going 5 days in a row: 44.85, 44.74, 44.91, 44.91.58 is the open for the week, 44.64.39, and yesterday 44.61.33. Now, this spreadsheet is pulling data off of Yahoo Finance, which if you hit refresh after you have it open, you will have the updated data from the day before, or actually it updates in real time. You can go over here and show your historical prices, the time period that you want, blah, 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 and you can even download it. Imagine that, 2023, and you can download this data. When I set up my spreadsheet, which will give me the date, the open, the high, the low, and the close, where I can calculate the gap up, the range, where we went from open to close, where we went from close to close, year to date, COVID low, year over year, month, where are we on the month, down 2.43%, and my personal ATR calculation. I track where we are for the week. What was the high of the week? What was the range of the week? What did the week do? Did it close green? Did it close red? How many green weeks do we have? How many red weeks do we have? To pull this data down, it would take you roughly around 26 seconds from Yahoo Finance. Would take you roughly around a minute to upload it onto a Google Sheets. When I originally did this, it took me about an hour to go all the way back to when Trump was elected, which is where I start from, 1,705 days ago, and color code to extract your data so that it's very simple for you to see how many days we were in the 4,500s, how many in the 4,400s. I'm not going to waste time on this, but to update it every day, it is literally going to Yahoo Finance. I go, what? Copy, come over onto the spreadsheet and go paste. August 9th, boom, boom, boom. And then I want a larger font. Point being, what I'm making here is this takes no time to actually do. And if you're not going to put in the time and the effort, you are praying that after the Glacier IPO, I continue to do this. That's what you're doing. You are praying that I continue to do this. You are praying that I don't close the doors and keep the 10, 15, 25 traders that I have spoken with, that message me regularly, and constantly want to up their game. If you're not going to put through this effort, seriously, honestly, why should I? Because you're paying me? You're not paying me. All that money goes, like you all know, straight to give fucking food, shelter, clothing, and education to the street kids over here. I can replace that money faster than you could even imagine. Put the effort in. So enough scolding. Let's go. The ES, as we had tracked weeks ago after we got that first dip back in July, we were looking for 44.91. We missed it back here on August 4th. We came down to it here on August the 8th, 2 days ago, and we played around with it again yesterday on August 9th, and here we are. We are tracking this for what should be an ABC or a 1, 2, 3. Very, very clear. You are getting lower lows and lower highs as this continues to progress. It's CPI day. So let's go to, again, data to see where our CPI is. And lo and behold, this again took roughly around 20, call it 15 minutes to go back to every CPI date and then go and look at what the report was, and then we'll go and look at what the results were on the SPX. This needs to be bold so it matches. As I shared with you 2 days ago and yesterday, and reminded you yesterday, this is what your CPI results have been. Gap up, gap up, gap up, gap up, gap up, gap down. That was February. February was our month where we were in our correction. Closed down 1.16. April, again, closed down April 12th. April 12th, if you recall, that was when we were due to get our big turn down, which we didn't get because they invented the word AI after that. So anyway, this is your results from your last 3 CPIs. Gap up, gap up, gap up, green close, green close, green close. Ranges have been 25 and 26. And that's the way that the range has been, because the range has been compressed. We have been in this compressed range even throughout this entire dip. We now have a dip of just over 3% over there on the SPX. Now, come over here onto your SPX data, which again, very simple to extract and do on your own, so that you have to not hope and pray after the Glacier IPO. This is still going to continue going. One minus 1% day on the SPX. One. Safe edges, again, hit the bottom safe edges on August 2, hit the bottom safe edges over there on August 4, which again, we were highlighting how we are going down on that Friday, Jobs Friday. Yesterday, again, no minus 1%, no lower safe edge, and you wound up closing right there above that support level, which we'll go on to now. This video, hey, you've made it this far through the video. This video is a hell of a lot nicer than the one that I did on Tuesday, which I didn't upload. SPX weekly open right here, 44.91.58. As you can see here with the big gap down that we have, which we have not filled, 45.03, 45.18. Triple bottoming on this one level here, and this level is significant because it is your 50 retracement going back there to that low back at the end of June, 43.28. That's all that we have done here, is basically troll around, while at the same time, as I've shared with you multiple times already, we are more oversold on the daily than we have been in months. We are definitely set up for a bounce. Come over here onto the VIX, and again here with the VIX looking at only the 5-day week to date. We had our visit to 1811. Imagine that. And then yesterday, look at that. Yesterday, we had such a big down day on the SPX. Oh my God, we're going to hell. And the VIX is over here going, dude, you're not going to hell. It's actually just another dip before CPI, man. And here we are trolling on that 1542. Lose 1542, and your last chance is to hold that 1451. You lose that 1451, it is game over for the dip. Back into waiting until we get to the NVIDIA earnings, which are coming up in a little bit more than a week, for NVIDIA to shit the bed and the Ponzi scheme that it is. QQQ, week to date, just the week to date. 10 days. No, it's not 10 days. Another one with QQQ. This took me around 25 minutes to do because I wanted to color code my data. July 19th, 295. That is our high, 387.98. We are now at 310. 310 minus 295. 15 days. We have had the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, minus 1% visits. That's it. Only 4 times in this 15 days of this drop down of now 5.37% on the QQQ have we had minus 1% days. I apologize, but having done this for 27 years, that is not bearish. What it is it's the dip, which is what we discussed many, many, many times now. We have now made it to the April and May 23.6 retracements to their lows. We have completely covered the June dip as far as going to the 50 retracement, and we still have a plausible, possible long-term target for when we do get to a complete bottom after this is finished, as we head into September, of around that 357.86, which is why I decided to get with those August 25 QQQ 380 puts. 380 minus 357, you're a little bit better than $20 on those. That was the whole intent. So again, this is again looking just at data, and I'll bring you back over here before we finish off, because next you don't have next. This is your ES. This is what you're channeling. As of right now, where we are looking, I will bring you in. We are exactly back to where we were 24 hours ago. Exactly back to where we were 24 hours ago. Right back to that 45, 12, 15. Right back above the 50-day moving average over here on the NQ, which was your catalyst yesterday for the sell down. Over here, over on the YM, hugging above the 5-day moving average and above the 20-day moving average. And you've got a nice little recovery here, having hit your lower Keltner channels yesterday on the drop. Over here on the Russell, hanging right around 1948. So there is nothing absolutely spectacular other than your data, and your data is what's in front of you. Your data is what you have to go by. And the reason I say this is because, as you saw there in your Monday email, we discussed what would be about buying the dip. Do you want to buy the dip? Do you want to be involved in buying the dip? Completely explained everything about it. Here on Tuesday, it's time. Time. We're oversold. August 11th, SPY 450 calls, last trade $1.12, right? The VIX just hit 1811. What's your result? You had an 88% return going into the close there on Tuesday. Sent out the email again yesterday. Back to $1 here. Just I don't have the time on this, but I know it was early in the morning. CPI tomorrow, SPY triple bottom, do or die spot as we came right down there to that 445. Here's your highs for the week. Blah 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 blah. Here's your your CPI data over on SPX. And here's your result. It dropped down below $1, so you could not have missed out on getting into it. And it ran up to $1.80, as you saw there in the chat room, how we hit the 5-day moving average. We went right back to 4,500 over on the SPX, and that was everybody's opportunity, having seen that recovery, knowing what your trading range is, to have taken your profits. 80%, 88%. And this is the reason why people who take the time message me, get on the phone with me on my own personal time, and discuss how to be a better trader, have results like this. $960 yesterday. Enjoy your morning. I love every one of you. I love those of you who actually put forth an effort even more. And I will see you guys in the chat room.